Morning. Morning. Is it going to go live or not? Jesus.
Win with Zen sweepstakes. You can get a chance to win $100,000. But there's more than one way to win with.
Is it going to go live or not? Jesus. There we go. Sorry. All right. Jesus. It's been a busy morning for me already. But I did squeeze in a trade. I did take a trade in gold at 8:30 something. I circled it. 8:34. I took the 1 minute gold line short right here. So we had a cross. Here's our candle. We had a crossover of the gold line, the 1 minute gold line. Donchian Channel low, smooth pullback, boom. I caught that down to here for $400. That was my one and only trade for the morning because I've been on the phone all morning. There it is right here, $400. My one and only trade for the morning because I've been on the phone all morning dealing with, I got to order a house today and I had a closing on Friday that I got to get my money for and blah, blah, blah. Lots of stuff going on this morning. Shoot. Good job, AO Trades. Yeah. 942. Yep. Good job. Excellent. So thank you. Yes, you can all hear me. That's good. Excellent. Let's try to find a place to steal some money today. The place I stole money in gold today was beautiful. It's just such an easy trade to see. It's like, holy shit. Such a beautiful setup. Right now, gold is in a battle off of the 5 minute red line here. It's just battling back long. Truth be known, if I wasn't on the phone, I would have taken that long right there. I would have had my target here. So I'd have been knocked out at even. But I would have taken this for sure, the 5 minute red line, because it's 940 something. So we're way past, the open of 820 for gold. But I'd have gotten knocked out at even on that one. That would have been definitely a setup I would have taken if I wasn't on the phone. No, I do not own my factory. I buy houses from 3 different factories. A Champion factory and 2 independent. Well, a Champion Homes. I used to work for Champion Homes years and years ago. Factory called Crestline Homes and another one called Homes Building Systems. You took that for 240, Ivan. Good job. Yeah, it's just now on that one, Jeff. If you took that long, you should not have let it come back and take you for a loss. You should have. I mean, maybe a small loss, but certainly not a full loss. we're kind of in a, I'm looking at the equities, and right now I'm kind of stuck because YM and RTY are below the overnight open. ES and NQ are above the overnight open. All of them are like, they're all long, but there's headwinds on at least two of these. I think that's probably why the NQ's up here kind of struggling, because it's not really going anywhere. It crossed over the NQ, you know, crossed over the prior day close and the overnight open and gave a gap, just like we look for, and then a long. But it's really, for the NQ, this should have more leg on it than that. It shouldn't be like that. But it did. It met the goal. AO Trades took it and got some money out of it. That's excellent. It looks like gold's going to go to sleep early. What the hell are you doing, gold? Gold has just literally gone sideways now. How frustrating. How frustrating is that? Let me see here. Let me get this stuff. Why do we have all this stuff on my screen here? I don't know. All right. Jesus. So the YM did the same thing. It crossed over, did an inside candle, you know, retest of the open and rejected. But again, there's just so much noise in here. I don't want to be in the middle of noise. That red line in gold is holding. Just keeps on pushing price long. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. That red line is supposed to fight when you get on top of it. Just like when you're below it, it's supposed to fight and push it the other way. It's fighting. You can see that's where the market's battle is in gold. I mean, it's clear. That's why I have that line on that chart. I mean, the battle is right here. They're trying to push it back up into here. Well, I'll be. The NQ really did go finally. I mean, it's off. Turned out to be a wonderful result trade. Just the process of doing it was pretty stressful. Holy shit. It even had a 1 minute gold line set up in the NQ, but man, the candles for the entry were pretty big. Awesome, Thumper Inc. Excellent. $710. You took it off the over? Did you take the rejection of the overnight open? Is that what you took? It's nice to see those lines, isn't it? It's nice to understand what's going on. Created that gap, tested it. There you go. That's an excellent job. Yeah, I would have probably wanted some MNQs on that trade. That probably would have given me enough confidence to stay in it and let it go, instead of, if I'd have been in that trade with an NQ, I'd guarantee I would have been out at even if I was in a regular NQ contract. This is the trade they're talking about. So that, again, I've talked about it before, but it crossed over, created space. They're looking for a place to pull back to. They did it here. Boom, up it went. Now, the interesting part is, created a Donchian channel, came back and sat on the gold line the second time. And there's your break of the gold line. Boom, gone. And that was a 1 minute. That was a 1 minute gold line setup, because it was a crossover first test of the gold line. No, exactly, AO, and it's the second attempt. I mean, I'm a first attempt person. I do not like second attempts, and I definitely don't like third attempts. Yeah, I got you. Stumper. Yeah, you have to wait for that. Yeah, perfect. All right, come on. We need to get our moving averages in line with our price. So what do I mean by that? Well, I mean this. We need to get these lines moving up to start supporting NQ, so we can look for longs on that. Same thing with the ES, because right now they're so far off, it's hard for them to keep moving. And what you're going to find as we get closer and closer to the holidays, the holiday of Thanksgiving and stuff, that space between, so let me bring this down just to talk for a second. That space right there, for example, which is in all of these markets right now, but that space between here and here is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, because the volume and the energy is not going to be there to keep pushing the market. So as price gets further away from that red line, I'm going to be less and less inclined to take a trade away from that red line as we get closer and closer to the holidays. Not that I'm looking for red line trades, but I just know that price doesn't run away from the moving averages either. Price has a tendency to drag the moving average along with it. Look at that. Look at this. What did I talk about? Noise. We came back in, we went right here, and I said there's just too much. I said it when we were here. I said there's too much noise in here. There's too much noise in here for there to be a trade in there. And that's exactly what we got. The noise being, the 5 minute red line, the 5 minute gold line, the 5 minute red line. There's just too much noise in here. All right. Well, the ES, let me drag this down for just a second. We'll get a look at this, get a gander at the ES. So here's what the ES finally did. All right. It Came up, bing, 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 bing. See how many times it fought itself here? 1, 2. Everybody want to do some counting? Like Sesame Street? 1, 2, 3. Ha! Surprise! Third attempt. So now we've created this gap right here, and we've come and tested the top. So the question is that good enough to then run us back up to here? I personally would like us to test the top of the prior day open, which we're getting ready to do, since we've never tested that from the top yet. See how we bumped into it from the bottom, but we never tested it from the top. So here, we're about ready to do it. Come on, come on. Come on, ES. Roll over. One more. Come on, a couple more ticks. Don't run up yet. Don't run up yet. You haven't cleaned out the bottom yet. Clean out the bottom. Come on. Clean out the bottom. Fart. See, I wanted it to clean out this line. Clean out means go to it and take out the stops that are down there and then rotate up. It may still do it, actually. Look at this. See how they're rejecting here? I talk about this. I always look for the most conservative approach is to look for the lowest support line to be cleared out, and then take your trade. If it doesn't happen, then I don't do the trade. If we've already tested this line and then rolled up, then I'm fine with testing the lines above it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, that's because it started running away on me, Jay Weave. That is, I better say, it's a cleaner word than what I was thinking. But I still, again, going back to what I'm saying, I want it to clean out the lowest support line if they're together. You can see there's 3 of them together here. So I really want it to take out this lowest line and then try to rotate long. Come on, ES. What the heck? And the reason I say that is a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have you chase off this line when they intended to come here anyways, and then they run up, and it's like, holy shit, who wants to hold that stop? Where do I put my stop? I'd rather just have clear mind, knowing this one's been cleaned out. So we either go long or we don't, and I use this as my defense for my stop loss. If I'm in early, I don't know if they're going to come back and just clean out that zone and then go. See what I'm saying? Now here they're getting ready to do it, just like I had thought they were going to do. Need you to come down. Still got to come down. You haven't come down yet. Come on, ES. Jesus. All right, now it's cleaned out this line. All right, so the question is this our rotation spot? Now, it's starting to look like it's not. The NQ is, by the way, Jesus, holy shit. Okay, hold on here. Yep, all right. Well, that kept us out of that. Kept us out of that trade. Not getting antsy and jumping on the higher line. I always look for the lower line if they're together. If the lines are together, always look for the first crossover. For the first crossover, always look for the lowest line. If you then hit the lowest line, and it rotates up and it comes back down again, then you can play the higher line. But I always look for the lower line. All right, let me get this out of the way. Let me get that out of the way. Yeah, but I mean, but the ES is collapsing now. It's going to drag the NQ with it. It may go to the prior day open in NQ, because that'll be about the time the ES gets to the red line. So let's go back down here and look at the NQ. So we're coming back down to here, hopefully. The ES is doing this, is going to the red line also at the same time. It's kind of in limbo. Short stuff. Bingo. Bingo. Short stuff. You're correct. 100%. I've only taken one trade today. Now, don't get me wrong. I've missed a couple other gold trades that I should have or would have taken if I wasn't on the phone. But I mean, I'm just not chasing stuff. It only takes one trade that completely fits your eye, that does the things that you anticipate it to do in the instrument, that you understand its personality, and then you hit it, and then it goes for $400 or $500, and boom, you're done. The days I trade the most are the days my P&L is not good. Those are the days my P&L is not good historically, without a doubt. Come on, I need you guys to roll down. I need you to roll down. I need you to roll down. I need you to roll down. Come on, roll down, please. Roll down. Come on, roll down. Roll down. There you go. All right. Now, technically, you could have had, see how you had a gap here from your prior day close? Here's your candle. Boom, there's your short. I mean, technically, that was a setup, but I didn't take it, okay? I didn't take it. But that's what I'm looking for it to do, is to go from here back down to here. And they did it. They created this gap right here between the prior day close, and this candle that closed, and they came up, then rotated down, boom, there it is. And that's $500 right there. That's right, RJ. If I don't have a trade counter that I keep in my head, but I just know for a fact, if I normally take, say, 3-4 trades a day, but I'm up in the 8-9 trade range, it's because I'm digging myself out of a freaking hole I got impatiently into or whatever. I don't give a rat's ass about fibs, man. I can't tell you how much money I've lost dealing with that bullshit. Now you got me swearing. Now you got me swearing. Because I'm going to tell you how fib traders work, man. Oh, the 50% didn't work, but that's okay, Bob, because you should be looking for the 67.5. That's the one you need to do. Did you not know that? Listen, man. That static line right there is that static line right there. That son of a bitch doesn't move. Here we are. That's my trades. I can't stand fibs. I've lost more money trying to trade fibs than any person should be allowed to lose. Is anybody noticing the scars on me from that conversation? Yeah, fibs are great hindsight. Exactly, they are great hindsight. Oh, look, man, if you'd have only taken this fib at 78.7 or whatever the hell the numbers are. I used to have them all memorized, and I freaking drank them out of my mind because it's just crazy. All right. Ah, shit. That's not good. Okay. We closed below all that. So now we may be, Jesus. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That was pretty neat how that did that from there to there, though. That was a nice little setup in the prior day close. You had a gap. Same scenario here to the long side. You did it here to the short side. We might have it off the prior day open here. I don't know. I got you. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just tell you right now, it's not the fib that's working. It's the line, like right there. Oh, God. Jesus, stressing me out talking about fibs. Going to get me in a bad mood. Going to get me in a bad mood, man. Talking about fibs. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, short stuff. It's all right. Just let my lessons of losing money be, potentially a lesson for you to not lose money. How about that? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one there, Rick or Dave, because it's not here. Let me just show you. Is it going to work? Maybe. But why am I not jumping up and down telling you to take it? Because we already went inside the gold line and pushed down. Now we're inside the gold line again, pushing down. It's let's go back to the one I did take that worked. Okay, back here. It's a crossover of the gold line, and it's a Donchian Channel in the first test. We've already tested this gold line right here. We crossed over, went in, bam, came down. Got into a fight with the red line, came back down, did it again, boom. So we're on like attempt 2 against the gold line. That's an issue. Second of all, we're getting a little bit later for the gold line. Now, if you're scalping and you use the gold line as like I talk about with the ES, and you're using it as your rotation point, I mean, there's a possibility, but this is not a trade for me. I would have preferred it to come up here and hit that red line. That would be a trade for me. Definitely would have been a trade for me, because that's back in the direction of gold, which is to the short side. And it may just do it. Damn it. What the hell's going on over here? Falling asleep. Hold on here. You see what I'm talking about with gold? Here was our reset candle right here. We came inside it. Boom. We hit it here. We even broke some pivots. We broke this pivot here, hit it here. Then we came down again and we hit it here. So we've already hit it here. Now we're hitting it again here. I wish that thing would have gone up through that red line. Come on. It's starting to get sloppy. I'm going to tell you part of the reason we're sloppy right now in these equities. Look at this garbage, guys. We are still stuck in the YM between the red line and the overnight open, and we're stuck between the red line here in the overnight open in the RTY, and we're currently between the red line and the overnight open in the NQ, and we're currently between the red line and the overnight open in the ES. That is not good. None of that is good. None of that is good. Absolutely none of that is good. Jesus. Absolutely none of that is good. None of that is good. None of that situation is good. Yeah, those lines are, those lines keep me out of either. They show me problems and they keep me out of problems. And like I've said, if price goes back to the overnight open like it's done in the NQ, like it's done in the YM, like it's done in the RTY, it doesn't immediately leave. You just don't even look at that instrument. Don't even look at it. Because all you're going to do from that point forward is allow them to steal your money. Because there's no commitment. The commitment for traders is either we're going to be above the mark, above the open, or we're going to be below the open. If the commitment hasn't happened because we're later in the day and we're just sitting there, then nobody knows what to do. And if you just remember that part about the overnight open and price being hanging out at it, I'm telling you right now, your profitability in your trading will go up just by being aware that you don't want to. If price runs to the overnight open and rejects it, that's a great trade. But if it runs to the overnight open, rejects it, and then just sits there, time to move on. And what we need is this stuff to start moving, start going somewhere. This isn't bad. At least this did something. I mean, at least the NQ did something today. I mean, at least the NQ, rolled up and gave somebody a great $700 trade here. It wasn't me, of course. But anyways, and then actually rotated in and gave a good short right here. But I mean, here we are. And now we're here and it's not going anywhere. We didn't have much of a gap even in the overnight. See our range here for the whole night. So we really need NQ to just kind of start going somewhere. But it's an indicator of the rest of the market. Nothing's actually really moving today. Man. Well, that red line in gold held, didn't it? Jesus, to the short side. I was too busy looking at the equities. So you create, see, it went back to here and then boom, there you are. But David, Rick Sales, do you guys comprehend why I didn't want that trade right there? This was the trade, not this. Man, look at gold go. That was a nice one. Shit, I wish I had taken it, but I didn't. We even had an inside candle. I was watching it. I wasn't really sold on it just because we touched the red line. We had an inside candle here. Rolled up to the top, then back down. That was nice. Good job, David. There you go. Now, pay attention, David, to understand why you wouldn't want to take that gold line trade. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah. It's just as important to stay out of the trades that have a higher likelihood to fail than it is to take the trades that are going to be successful. I mean, it's just as important that have a higher likelihood to fail. I mean, would this thing possibly have rolled all the way down? Absolutely. I'm not sitting here telling you that there's no damn way in hell this wasn't going to do that. But I'm looking for the ones with the higher probabilities, not the ones that I've got to, just from years of staring at these charts, you just got to go with the ones that are the higher probability. Going back to one of the comments somebody said earlier, it's, you really got only, if you're trading full contracts, like I am here, you only got to hit one. Well, I mean, again, Ivan, it might have worked. And again, if something to your left had told you that the gold line is pushing and pushing and pushing, like it has a tendency to do in the ES, if it's not in consolidation, then I mean, you know what I mean? You could take that roll of the dice. But I mean, we're just kind of sitting here in gold. We're not really going anywhere. There's not a lot of energy in it. So you got to look for a stronger line to give you that energy. That would be the red line or the static lines. The stronger lines give you the bigger energy because there's more money behind them. There's bigger money trading the red line than there is trading the 1 minute gold line. I'll be right back. Get some coffee. I'll be right back. Oh, shoot. Wow. Let me get over here and look. Jesus, this is just pathetic. Look at the YM, folks. Look at the YM. Just pathetic. Just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Now, that doesn't mean, let's keep in mind, that doesn't mean that, they're not having this big battle here, because the intent really is to go long, and they're going to drag this red line with it and then just start running. And then we might find some trades up here. So I'm not giving up, but we need to get the hell out of here. Interestingly enough, though, if you'll notice, the RTY and the YM both rejected off their prior day close. You see that? Both of them rejected off the same line. Interesting. They both rejected off the exact same line. Is that a miracle? No, that's why you have that line on your chart. So you can recognize why somewhere up here in space it reversed. I'm not saying it was a tradable event, or not. What I'm saying is, now you recognize why out in the middle of nowhere, price just reversed. Excuse me. Because it's only 10:20. Are these Fed people are talking today, aren't they? That's what I remember, right? Well, there was one that was talking at 9. I mean, how many fairy tales and lies can he tell? He must be done. he must be done. Yeah, hit the like button. If anybody wants to hit the like button, that'd be great. All right, so let's go back and look here. What do we got going on? All right, so let me get gold back over here, since it appears to be the only thing moving right now. So gold blew through this pivot here, rotated up, came back down, sitting on that red line. Shit, I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. We're stair stepping in the bigger time frames. See that? 1, 2, 3. We're stair stepping down still. We came from a Donchian low. I mean, I don't know. Pay attention, see if maybe I can get an inside candle or something. I don't know. Is it going to go? Yeah, you're going to go, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Of course you're going to go. Are you going to go and make money? I don't know. I didn't take this trade, but it was a setup. I'd be at even right now. Oh, wow. I'd be at even if I was in it, but I didn't take it. Yeah, 1 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, that rotation worked. Look at that. Oh, god dang. Nice way to miss it, Bob. Holy shit. Okay, we broke that pivot there. That's nice. Holy cow. What was the entry? 72.3. That was a nice one. That was a big candle. This is what I was afraid of right here. Because I don't know that there's a commitment in gold to go long right now. I really don't. I don't feel there's a commitment to go long. You see the longer term pivots, they're going down. Same thing here. They're still going down. This break in this pivot right here was nice. Of course, again, we broke this one right here. I don't know. That's funny. That is true, short stuff. That is true. That is true. That's pretty funny. There's just no commitment. These equities are just sitting in mud. I get excited about winner, loser, winner, loser, winner, loser, because my winners are supposed to be bigger than my losers. What happens to me, Ivan, ironically, is kind of like what happened to me today. I had a winner right out of the gate, and then I freeze because I don't want to lose my money that I won. If I start off with a loser, then I have a tendency to be a lot more aggressive, and I kind of loosen up the wheels, and then I go ping, 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 ping to get my money back, and to make money. It's funny, if I start with a winner, I end up going, I end up looking too hard at a potential trade instead of just doing what I should have done, like this one. This is a clear rotation, broke this pivot, came down, sat on top of our 1 minute gold line and our 5 minute gold line and our 5 minute red line, and boom, that's why that candle went like that. I allowed myself to talk myself out of it because of these pivots right here. And again, it didn't go far, like it didn't roll all the way up to here. So it was going to be a scalpy type trade and then be over. I mean, I knew that by looking at it, that most likely it was not going to run up to here. But I just let it go. I should have taken it, made $200-300 at least, but I didn't. Man, this is just. All right, are we finally going to go somewhere? We might finally start going somewhere. Just my luck when we do it. We're going to be doing it to the short side. Everybody's now leaning short. ES, NQ, RTY, YM. So that's good news. Everybody's now leaning short. Everybody is now below the overnight open. So maybe we can get some rotations to the short side. Everybody knows short is not my favorite. Oh man, yeah, I use some colorful metaphors. All right. Jim probably made too much money. He's probably got the IRS banging on his door. Got no Orville either. Now Orville's already hit his goal for the he had a goal for December by December 31st or something that he started like September 1st. Well, he already hit it. He already hit the goal for his December numbers. So I don't know if he's doing the smart thing and, sitting out, I should say. Ivan, the thing that's funny about that is when Jim came to me a year and a half ago or so, or probably more than that. I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's been a while since Jim and I have been dealing with each other, but when he came to me, he was an NQ trader. And and he was, and he was using my strategy and he was having success and stuff. But it was earlier this year, I believe. I can't remember now. Jim's not here to clarify for me, but I kept harping on him. I'm going, dude, I get it. I get that you like the NQ. I get it. But you need to look at gold. You need to look at gold, man. You really need to look at gold. And he's just like, holy shit. I remember he sent me an email, I don't know, maybe 4 months ago or so. And in big caps, he said, there's gold in them there hills. Because he was just ping, ping, ping. He was making so much money trading gold. I only know of one NQ trade he has taken in the last month. And it was because I called it out in this room and he went over and looked at his NQ chart and he took it and he made 500 or $1,000 off of it. But he's just so focused on gold. And the money is in gold, in my opinion. That's the trade I took today was gold. The money is in gold. It's definitely in gold. Yeah, the thing about gold compared to NQ is I'll take NQ trades, but they give me borderline heart attacks and they're exciting when they go your way and stuff. I took the biggest trade I took last week was in gold. I mean, not gold, was in NQ. I hit $1,000 trade in NQ last week. But the thing is that gold just has a tendency to be a lot more consistent with pivots to your left, rotations, follow throughs, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I Jay Weave. I've built houses, Jesus, like in Shelby and in Hendersonville. No, not Hendersonville. What the hell's it's a town right next to Lake Norman, on Lake Norman? Shit, Lincolnton, Waxhaw. So I've built houses down in that area. I don't like to go into Mecklenburg County. That's just a Mecklenburg County. Trying to build a house in Mecklenburg County is communism at its best. They're just fucking idiots down there. Excuse me. Huntersville. That's it. Yeah, Huntersville. I've built a couple houses in Huntersville, which is Mecklenburg County. But I can't stand Mecklenburg County for building houses. Between Mecklenburg County, Buncombe County, those two are the worst, absolute worst. And both of them have something in common, Jay Weave. Let that sink in for a minute. Both of them have one thing in common. And I'll give you a hint. Wake County is no peach either. So tell me what all three of those shithole counties have in common. So I saw somebody mention earlier today that they were focusing. Union County's not bad. I've got somebody in Union County I'm getting ready to work on a house for soon. I can't remember where. Sometimes I talk to people, and then and give them the lowdown of what I do, how I do it, whatever. And they still haven't like surveyed their property or gotten perk tests or whatever. So I won't hear from them for like 6 months, or they're investigating right now, what they want to do. I got a house I just put in Brevard, North Carolina. I've been talking to those people off and on for over 4 years. And then now I set their house 2 weeks ago in Brevard. So, I always tell people, you need to remember me because I'm not going to remember you. You need to remember my phone number because I'm not going to call you. So the ES, like I've talked about this rotation. So here's one where we broke these pivots, came up, hit the gold line, boom, there's your break, and then down you go. That's the trade I've talked about many times on here. That is a nice, easy safety trade off the 1 minute gold line that you can take, make some money, and pass your evals, get your payouts, that kind of stuff. You took that ES short. There you go. So you're asking me about counties and you took that short. Good job. Good job. Excellent. I do not build houses in Maine. I do not build houses in Maine. I know Champion delivers houses up in Maine, but I don't build houses up that way. You took the gold line in the RTY. Good job. Yeah, that gold line in the RTY is a pretty good setup because we clearly had a crossover. So here's your way up here. You crossed this gold line, first rotation off your Donchian, right into your gold line, and then boom, and you had an inside candle. Oh boy, look at that. Look at this. You had an inside candle right here to this candle, and then bam, down you go. That's a great setup, short stuff. The NQ is, if I don't know if any of you are watching, but now the NQ is the one that's literally stuck in mud. It's just sitting here. It had a nice rejection of these lines here, but, and it crossed over and had a little rejection right here, but it's just sitting here. This has gotten ugly here in the NQ. Back in the day, Trader Joe, I used to go, the end of the summer, like back when I was in high school, end of the summer. So like the end of August or whatever, before we go back to college or go back to high school, it didn't matter. We used to, we used to load up the car and go to Old Orchard Beach. Yeah. Had some good times down there at Old Orchard Beach. Even at the end of August, man, that water was so cold. Freezing cold. Freezing cold. Yeah, I do. Here, I'll type it in here for you. To Maine? That's nice. Where are you at now, Trader Joe? Portland area. Yeah, that's a nice area. I've got friends that live in Portland. You're in Oregon now? Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, it's very similar environment. That's for sure. No problem, AO Trades. I'm glad you made money on that trade, man. I'm glad you hit that NQ trade. Take your money and run. Take the money, put it in your pocket, and run. Yeah, I do some videos out there to explain, what I do, what my pricing model is, that kind of stuff. Because my houses, all those houses on that website, and I'm not making this stuff up. I just contracted a house to go in Hendersonville, North Carolina, and my contracted price when I was all done, it's a Cape, big Cape, Tillery 3 Cape. My pricing when I was all done was right at 60 to 70 grand less than the dealer that's in that same freaking town selling the same house. That's why dealers don't like me. They really do not like me because they like to corner people and rape and pillage them. And so, they really do not like me. When I go to like last week, I went down to 2 factories to do some walkthroughs of some new models they got coming out next year. And they had me come when there's nobody else there because there can be a bad incident. Yeah. There could be a bad incident with some of these dealers. Well, the thing about J-Weave, the thing about the owner of the bar I work at is from Portland, Maine. Well, the funny thing about that is Portland, Maine is littered with bars. Itself, Portland, Maine is littered with bars. There ain't much to do in Maine for about 4 months out of the year other than go to a bar. I've been to a lot of good bars in Portland, Maine. Well, that YM short off the red line would have been nice. Why didn't somebody tell me about it? Why didn't somebody tell me about it? Now, I've built in Belmont, North Carolina. I'm in Clemens, North Carolina, but I have built houses in Belmont. So I'm in Clemens, which is like Forsyth County. I live right on the Forsyth County, Davidson County border. Look at that red line right there in YM. I completely missed that. I was too busy reading chats. That was a beautiful look at this. So we had a crossover, Donchian Channel low, all that good stuff. Great pullback to the red line. Boom, down it goes. Did anybody get that? That was a beautiful setup. Damn it. I completely missed it. I would have loved to have taken that in the YM. Jesus. Okay. All right, Papa Duke, come on now. Print some money, man. Print some money. Print some money, guys. Hopefully that rotates back down to the low, man. That was a beautiful setup. Absolutely gorgeous setup in the red line right there. Absolutely beautiful setup. I mean, you can't get a smoother pullback than that. That's why you had that reaction. Look at that huge red candle. It's right on it with me, David. I mean, it's like you can see it if you open mine up. Let's see here. It's below it by 1 or 2 ticks. Oh, yeah. That could be. You could get that. Come on, YM. Roll over. Roll over. That's a beautiful setup. See, and just setups like that, guys, if you're just patient enough to wait and everything happens and, you know, it's an actual smooth pullback, because the smoother that pullback, you know, help you protect your stop. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. See if I get one more thing of coffee. I'm trying to find out when I can go get my money. You just wait. You guys wait. Wait. Oh, man. The RTY gave up that, or the YM gave up all that rotation. Yeah, I know, Papa Duke. It's like it's frustrating because that's an example of there's just follow through is lacking. That is a beautiful setup. I mean, that is just, you can't ask for a better setup than that. And that's what you're going to have to struggle with as we get closer and closer to the holidays and that kind of shit. Damn it. That's terrible. Beautiful setup like that. Should have made more money. Should have made more money. Oh, Harold, yeah. If anybody's had technical issues before in their life, it'd be me. So I feel for you. I feel for you. I know what you mean. Well, the good news is it wasn't a day that you're going to print a bunch of money anyways. I mean, God, look at this. I mean, just come on, man. Let's go back down here again. Let's look at this. The biggest beast of all of them, and this is what it looks like. The biggest beast of them all, and this is what it looks like. The damn NQ. I mean, it just looks like garbage. Just absolute garbage. Just garbage. I mean, just garbage. Let me check something. I got to check something in my email. I'm supposed to go pick up a check today for that closing I had on Friday so I can get my damn money back. Oh, okay. All right. Susan Smith. Oh, come on. Good job, Bill. Awesome, Bill. Congratulations. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. There's just I don't know, the market just doesn't seem to want to do anything today. I get real tense when there's no real rotations going on. You take that gold short? Yeah, I was looking at it, but I let it go. I was looking at it. Yeah, did you notice I just had a modular home frustration moment, Papa Duke? Did you notice that? Did you notice that? Ah! Fuck. You're in the GC, Mike? Well, hit that dog for some real money, my friend. See if you can follow the back of the candles that are being broken. If you can do that, man, you might make some real money. I just don't know if the rotations are there. So like if this candle, because this one got broken to the downside, if this one can hold, you might get a rotation all the way down to here. No, Jesus, come on. Are you going to break that? Come on, rotate down. All right, there you go. Come on, rotate down. Come on, rotate down. I probably should have just had a gold chart showing. Of course, after the fact, you know, but I mean, the equities have just been turd balls today. I should have just had a gold chart showing, and that's it. Okay, so Ryan, what you gotta recognize. So it did break a pivot. So it was right here. Are we talking about gold, by the way, Ryan? 520. Good job, Mike. Good job, Mike. So you see this? This was your rotation pivot. It did break it to the downside, and then it rotated up and did this. Now, I didn't take the trade because we already crossed over, bumped into the gold line a couple times, then came down. But we broke this pivot right here, which was the pivot to the long side when we came down. Remember, I used the Donchian Channel to be like a big flag, but it doesn't. You don't have to break the Donchian Channel to have the flag show. I just have it on there so it gives you a big flag. Okay, we're recently coming to an area, whatnot. But that was about as smooth as you can get as a pullback here. And I think this was an inside. Wasn't that an inside candle there, Mike? Yeah, this was an inside candle to this candle here. So that's a beauty. I mean, this is a beauty. You have an inside candle here. That was like the yeah, that would help, Ryan. Change the colors, or I don't know what your background is, make them bigger, whatever. God dang it. Jesus, mother of God. Yeah, broke that pivot right there. Voice to text, yeah. Exactly, Ryan. And that's why I've said it before, and again, I'll repeat it again here. I don't look for a Donchian Channel. I look at the pivots. So what's a good example? Right here in the ES. This is your pivot that rotated up, and then it came down and broke, and then boom, there's your gold line. Bam, down you go. But we didn't even hit the Donchian. So I'm looking for that pivot to the left that got broken. That was my stair step up, for example, on a short, or a pivot to the long side that got broken. That's my stair step long. All the Donchian Channel does is shows you've gone into new territory for the last hour. I mean, you can change your settings on the Donchian if you want, or you could even just completely remove it. But I have it on there for you guys. And as you advance, like Jim Racine, I don't even know if he has the Donchian on his chart, because he's literally looking at the pivots. He's not worried about the Donchian. The Donchian just helps people who struggle to see rotations. You know, it's something that takes time to for some people struggle to see rotations. I don't struggle to see rotations, but you know, I struggle at other things. Like I struggle at seeing shorts, you know, or I struggle at you know, obviously reading. But you know, seeing rotations changing, I don't struggle at that. But I put the Donchian Channel on there like a year or so ago. If you go back in my old videos, I've never even had a Donchian on my chart. Matter of fact, I don't even care about the damn dots. I can see the pivots being broken. I can see the rotations changing. Now, the dots just make it easier to recognize. Just like the Donchian makes it easier to recognize. Man, that gold really fell off, Mike. Well, the NQ short already set up. So let me show you. Want me to show it to you, Ivan? It goes back to the same analogy. Right here, the NQ already set. See, we broke that pivot right there and then rotated up. And it actually had a short off the prior day open also. That's why this candle is so big. Because we broke this pivot right here and then rolled up. That's why we had such a big candle on that short. And when you start seeing simple things like that, you'll recognize why some candles are bigger than others. It'll just be like, oh, shit, I see what happened there. Now that situation NQ, it never went back to the gold line on the thing you're asking. But for the traders, they're already in that trade because it broke that pivot. So let me go back and show you this too. It's the last long. So see, we had this pivot here, this pivot here, this pivot here. Notice they're stair-stepping up. They aren't stair-stepping big, but they're stair-stepping. So you had this low one, this higher low one, this higher low one. All it takes is the first one to get broken on the rotation, and then it's over. It just because that's a turn of the market. The market's now turning. So they're stair-stepping it long, and as soon as the highest long one gets broken, they're turning it. Does that make sense? That means they're turning it, and that's exactly the scenario right there that Jim uses when he's looking at gold. He's seeing those rotations on the bottom or the top, and that they stay consistent, and then he's waiting for a wick to break one of those rotations, either long or short, and then the pullback, and then he's looking for the trade. And it's literally that simple. Now, the market's got to be moving, Ryan. You know, there's got to be movement, okay? You can't, like I tell people, price has to run to the moving average. You don't want the moving average to come to price. If the moving average comes to price, there's no trading. But if price rotates and comes back to the moving average, and then gives you a setup. So price has to go to the moving average. You don't want the moving average coming to price. That's very important because that's the only way you're going to get the big red candle. I got it right here. I think I'm going with 1040. 1040. I think on my what is this thing called? My Trade Saver, I think it's 2040. But again, remember, I'm always grabbing the stop and going from there. And then, and you know, and reality of it is I should be hitting more than 40s. So let's go back to this ES one for a lesson. Okay. So you had your long here and you had your long here. You see how it's stair stepping up? And what Jim's looking for is that it came down and broke the lowest, at least the lowest, the highest low. Okay. And then it rotates up and then boom, there's your trade. Does that make sense? And that's price action. What I'm explaining to you right there is pure price action. That has absolutely nothing to do with static lines per se or whatnot. That's pure price action. That's understanding the market is changing rotations. And now that it's changing rotations, I want to be involved with it going short now. Or I want to be involved with it going long now. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound simple, Mike. I don't mean to make it sound simple because it's not. But some people, they like, some people just, they see it. They like, oh, I see what you're saying. Like they immediately see what I'm talking about. You got to have the right market environment to even make it work. But once you do, once you got the right market environment, you start seeing those pivots break, boom, boom, boom. I don't mean to make it sound simple, though. Trust me. The most important part of all of that, the most important part of all that is the right market conditions. So that you can start identifying, again, like on this NQ. So you can start identifying these big red candles. Because remember, I'm giving all the secret sauce away right here. I am. Because I've said this before. In my strategy, my objective, other than the 5-minute red line, my objective is to identify where that big red candle is going to be. Where that big green candle is going to be. Okay, my objective is to identify that so that I get myself in on the right side of the trade. And then that's why, and if you really focus on what I'm talking about right now, that's why I say I manage my trade from my stop to break even, and then I manage my target, because my whole objective is to identify this is going to be while I'm looking at this green candle right here, is to identify this is going to be a big red candle. That's my whole objective. So that I'm in on the right side and I'm defending myself with my stop loss after I'm in a minute or so. And then I can look at my targets. And when you guys start seeing those rotations like that, it's going to make a big difference in your trading results. That's why I say I don't really mind if I lose some money, because I know I can get myself out of it. And this is exactly how, right here. If I was down $200-300 right now, boom, 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 there's my money. I'm back. I'm done. You know, I'd be more focused. I don't think I do. I don't delete blah, blah, blah. RJ Wheel. I don't delete any videos. I haven't deleted a video before that I know of. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I've deleted any videos. What are my dogs barking at? Hold on a second. My dogs are barking at something. All right, come on, guys. Leave her alone. It might be, RJ, how to spot rotations. This last half of this video today is probably the main thing for you guys to just kind of focus on and go back and look at charts. Go candle by candle. I'm telling you, go candle by candle and try to identify when you think rotations are going to happen and then pull. This is what I used to do. I used to literally just take a chart, not look at it, and then I'd slide it over and I'd go candle by candle. And I'd say to myself, do I think the next candle is going to be a big green candle? Or do I think the next candle is going to be a big red candle? And I would say yes or no. And then if it was no, I'd be like, okay, what did I miss? Or, is it, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, screen time. But that's a way to do screen time without losing a trading day, is to sit there and just open up a chart on a specific day, slide the thing over to your right, and then start at like 9:30 and then just start going candle by candle, using these lines right here and everything, and see if you can identify the points of big red candles, the points of big green candles. So you don't have to waste a trading day trying to figure it out, because you can look at previous. Screen time is priceless. I say that. Exactly. It's completely priceless. But if you have a purpose as to why you're using that screen time, that makes it even better. What is this NQ? Somebody said YM is doing something. Let me get over here and figure that out. Shoot. Ooh, wow. Yeah, it's prior day low. Holy cow. Look at that. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. Look at the YM. You go, baby. Let me see here. Let me blow this up. Damn it. Well, oh, you're going to go. Yeah, there it goes. Let me shrink this up. Wow. I'll be right back. Damn dogs. Okay, hold on here. Maybe we'll get a W pattern here. Smooth pullback, another one, and then a rotation long. That would be nice. I'll be looking for a W pattern. See you, David. Come on, give me a W pattern. Pull back. Pull back to here. Pull back to here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, pull back to here. Come on. Come on, come on. Pull back more. Why do you have to go to sleep on me? Oh, God. Yeah, it's gone. Come on, down. There you go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. Should I get this thing to shrink up more? There. Come on. Come on down. Come back down. Oh, man. Come on down. It's not doing it. It's not doing it the way I like it. It's taking too long. Keep going down, 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 down here. Come on. Shit. Very lethargic. You guys know what I was looking for. I was looking for it to go from there back down to here in this general area in a relatively straight line and then take the long for a beautiful W pattern, break this top. It's still quasi doing it. If it breaks this top right here, it's probably going to be gone, but it didn't do the pattern I was looking for. Damn it. Shit, there it goes. God dang it. It doesn't hurt, Mike. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. And and to recognize situations where, like, again, I'm being very picky. The market's not rotating much. I'm being very picky what I'm looking for. But the pattern, this setup is ideal. I mean, look at that rundown. Holy cow. And all these moving averages are so far away. I mean, the setup itself was wonderful. But when I wanted it to just come back here and give me that beautiful W pattern, give me the confidence to run it back up to here, from there back up to somewhere in here, which would have been for the week. That trade right there would be over $1,000. So, you know, I only have to find one of those a week. I only have to find one huge rotation like this, and this a week. And that's $1,000, over $1,000. The ES definitely did. The problem with the ES, Arn, is that it's not off of it's off an invisible support line. There's no. The problem with the ES is it's out in space, so it's not doing it off of like a prior day low or something. So it's I don't like that. I want it to do it off of a known support area. When I look for a W or an M, I want it off of a known support / resistance area. Yeah, look at that stupid thing. Look at the YM. And see, so that's so like when the market really has like when the sharks are in the tank and they do this, they immediately slam it down to here to get you chasing it back short. And then the rotation happens. I mean, it's just the sharks are really not in the tank. The pattern is holding, but it's just not doing it the way I like to see it, with conviction. But, you know, damn line held. There it goes. No, the entry on this was here. The stop was here. This is a valid setup. It works. It's beautiful. I mean, the entry's here. The stop is here. And you let it go. But I didn't take the trade. And so I was like, well, if it does a W pattern back to here, I will take it. Because that's like a confirmation setup. If you get a rollover back onto here again, boom, those things work a lot more likely than these. And not only that, and it did it just didn't do it enough. So this rotation should go all the way back to where this leg started. See where that leg started? I mean, this whole rotation started right here. Bam, up, down, bam. So this rotation, this leg here, this green leg should go up to here. Just and you know, if you kind of look at, just to give you some eyeball things to look at while it's doing it, see this pivot here? This candle went right through it, so that's a good thing. It didn't push it back down because we broke it right here with one tick. So the rotation still is in commitment to the long side. And when this pivot here broke, that's when the whole thing, that's when the W kicks in. So when the pivot that forces price back down, that's this one here, which it should have been more. If the sharks were in the tank, they would have pushed it down further to squeeze the stops of the longs. And then when that pivot right there breaks, that's the beginning of your run. And then you look for your next pivot, which we broke right through it with this candle. So then the rotation's still continuing. And so the next pivot is right there. And there you go. Son of a bitch. And that's how you can look at pivots to your left to see what's going on. If you break that pivot to your left before a rotation, then that's a sign that price should continue going. And there it is. It just went to the top of that leg right there. And see it front run it by one tick, and then it stopped for a second. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It's a beautiful setup. I completely missed it. I was trying to get that rotation down. God dang it. It should have rotated down. I only needed it to go down a couple more ticks in a sequence right here, and then the break long. But it's little things like this right here. This whole sequence that happened right here. This whole sequence that happened right here that should help you identify how to recognize bigger trades, bigger rotations, what's really going on. I mean, what is really going on here? And then boom, there you go. I mean, it was down here when this broke through. This candle right here broke through. I told you it was going here. It's like, how do you know that, Bob? Well, because that's rinse, wash, repeat. Once this candle right here broke this pivot line right here, I said we're going to here. Probably not a valid red line trade, Ryan. Because remember, order of operations, this line is more powerful than this line. Now, what you might have, hold on here. What you might have is right over here in the NQ. So we've had a run down from a low back up to the prior day open. So you could have a rejection of the prior day open to the downside. But it looks like the market's going long. I mean, I'm thinking it's still going long. All they did, and here's the amazing part about this when they did this. Again, the big dog, the Dow, they ran it to the low and rolled it right up through. I mean, it's just like, and everybody else just kind of follows along. What's the YM doing? Oh, the YM's pivoting. Okay, so everybody else pivot. Come along for the ride. And my guess is that they're going to run this market long now because they've gone and tested the prior day low. So my thought is they're going to go long. Wow. So you created a gap. Go back to your YM. You created a gap between price and your red line. So now your red line is going to struggle to hold. Your red line's going to struggle to hold. Now, what that red line needs to do is push price to break this pivot right here. See this one? That was the red line short. You see this red line short? So this has to hold, break this pivot, then come back down and probably catch a gold line long. That's what the pattern is hopefully going to be if the red line can hold to the long side. What time is it? 11:35. All right. All right. How much time we got? 4 minutes. Okay. Here's your rotation. Remember, the red line's holding because we were north of it. The red line is trying to hold for the long side. Excuse me. There it goes. Now, this big pivot here has to be broken if we can get up there. And then hopefully the 1 minute gold line comes running along and catches the rejection. And then the roll up would be to here. Shit, I'm not looking at the RTY, man. I don't know. I mean, no, there's no RTY long. Hell no. There's a red line right there. See how that red line's holding? See that? It's fighting. It's battling. All because this candle opened and closed above it. This red line is fighting to hold. Is it going to double top or going to break? There it goes. All right, break that pivot, Tara. Break this pivot first, then break this one. Yeah, Jay Weave, but I'm not taking any one minute gold line trades in gold right now. I mean, it's just way too late for that. Way too late in the day. Did this double top or did it break? Let me look. I didn't look. God, it looks like it broke it by a tick. It looks like this broke this candle by a tick. So that's a good sign. It's a good sign for the longs. I think this candle broke this one by a tick. So these are just my observations of what price action is trying to do, or appears to be trying to do. It's exactly why this big green candle came here. Does it mean it's going to work? Don't know. But that's why, again, identify where the big green candles are going to be. Identify where the big green candles are going to be. Identify where the big red candles are going to be. When you start seeing those things and knowing why they're happening, that puts you on the right side of the market when you take a trade. Does that make sense? Now, like I said, this one broke this one by 1 tick. So that told me we're still going long. And it did. It's rotating. Now, this one really needs to, since it's broke this one, it needs to break this pivot right here. Needs to break this pivot right here before it rolls back down, because that's a sign we're going to continue to keep going long or not, even if we have a pullback. Come on, bust through there. Bust through there. I mean, it's right at, there he goes. All right, so that busted through. So now we should get a pullback, because now the market's telling all the sharks, okay, we're going long, but we're going to clean out some stops now. Now that we've broken that pivot to our left, we're going to go long. Let's clean out some stops. Or are they going to just run? I don't know. But it's the rotations back to our support lines that give us the setups for what we anticipate to happen next. It may not do that, because it may just run all the way up to here. But that's it. I mean, it's just, and you got another pivot right here that this could potentially break before it rolls down. It could break this one, because this is the next one, which is also happens to time up with your Donchian. But this is your next pivot to be broken to the long side. Doesn't have to happen for the rotation to continue long, as you've already seen when we broke this one, and now we broke this one. Man, the NQ took that rotation. Everybody see that? Look at that little dog. Look at the NQ. Look at the NQ. What a little dog. So the NQ came up, sat on top of the red line, gave this big hammer candle, and it went from this prior day close right back to, prior day's close to the, prior day open to the prior day close. God dang. Look at that. Nice rotation. And when you start recognizing little things like I keep pointing out here, that's when you can start putting yourself on the right side of the market, making good trades, and making money. He took the hammer candle? Yeah. Well, I love those hammer candles, especially when they reach through your support line, because they did that intentionally. They cleaned out those stops down there, and then they go the other way just to frustrate everybody. They don't want people to take a free ride. They want to move it to the long side for themselves, not for you. So when you identify what they're doing and you jump on the train, that's when you get the big green candle or the big red candle. I'm not trying to belittle this stuff, but it starts clicking with you over time. And when it starts clicking with you, that's when, you can start saying to yourself, shit, man, I actually can make money doing this. Like Jim does, like Orville does. Orville does it on his damn phone. I do it on a desktop. I'm not doing this shit on my phone. I do it on my desktop. But from October 20th to November 12th, I put $11,000 in my pocket, just sitting here looking at stuff like that, looking at rotations, identifying where they're at. Exactly, Ryan. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And by the way, look at this. So just dirty dog stuff. Let's talk dirty dog stuff. Does anybody see what happened here? This went through by one tick. That's dirty dog stuff. So they're telling you, so that what they did is the reason they clipped these things by a tick. You want me to tell you why they clip these things by a tick? Because they know breakout traders have their orders lined up there. So they'll take it through and let you get in, and then they go back the other way and clean you out. You got to understand the mentality of what the sharks are doing, what the algos are doing. They know that you see these, it's going to break out here. Yeah, they love breakout traders. Steal their damn money. They just steal their damn money. Because now that breakout trader is sitting here taking all this heat. And you're not, because you expected it to come back here, and now you're in for the long from here. So your buy-in is here, his is down here. He's just happy to get his freaking money back now. It's that simple. It's that simple. Anyways, I love it. That probably today has been the best day, because honestly, I just didn't trade, and I just sat here and explained in advance what's going on. I explained in advance when this candle was north of this red line, that the red's going to try to hold. It's going to do everything in its power to hold. Hammer candle down, boom, up it went. Broke this pivot here by one tick, came back down, rotated up, broke this pivot, came back down, rolled up. I mean, come on, man. It's just like rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. When you start seeing the patterns, it just becomes clear. Oh, and this whole scenario, when we broke this, when we came down here, had a W top, I wanted a bigger pullback. I know I'm selfish, but once it broke this top, it was going back to here. How did it travel? Well, it had this pivot to get through. Once it did a one tick through, I knew it was going to keep on going. I mean, it's just, you see these things over and over again. It's just, that's it. So anyways, I'm going to log off. This rotation from this red line should go to here, but you can see why it stopped at each one of these places. That's what's important. When you see you're going from here to here, for example, you need to recognize why it's going to stop here, why it's going to stop here. And then let the 1 minute gold line be your friend to rotate you to your target, which is here. All right. Correct, Ryan. Correct, Ryan. All right. I'm going to let everybody go. Going to go find out where my damn money is on my closing and deal with some other stuff. Everybody have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.